I've just done a presentation about Priestmangoode's work, but also the work that is very relevant to the automotive industry, because we design trains, aeroplanes, ships, and I think there's a lot to learn with what's going on in that industry to the car industry.
And it's interesting because the skills of what you learn are very transferable. What are some of the sort of the key things that you can sort of look to transfer?
Well, it's in say, for instance, in the aviation industry, when we design things, they have to work. You know, they have to be durable. If something breaks on an aeroplane, the aeroplane might not be able to take off. So it's a great discipline for designers and for manufacturers to think about that. And I think those sorts of aspects really translate well into the automotive industry.
Have you noticed the demands about, lightweight materials, durable materials, that has increased in the last sort of decade?
Well, weight on aircraft, for instance, is absolutely critical, and now in the automotive industry. And a lot of the work we're doing on reducing weight of materials but making them look high quality is something that we've become quite specialised in.
I guess with a train or an aircraft, you have a lot of area that you can reduce weight, you can reduce the impact of the materials involved. A car, it's a much smaller space, but still there is a lot you can do.
Yes, there is, yeah. And I think that, realistically, we spend a lot of time in cars and traffic jams, not just facing forward. Maybe there is space now to make these spaces more flexible within cars. With the advent of more vans, for instance, maybe you don't want to necessarily just sit in the same direction. When designing a seat for an aircraft, you have to be able to eat in it like in a restaurant. You then have to recline to watch TV, and then it goes into a bed. Maybe some of that thinking needs to be thought about in the car industry.
And when you suggest those kind of things, what's the sort of responses? Because you are sort of moving outside the box, if you excuse using that expression.
Yeah, I think it's challenging. And certainly the conversation we're having with car manufacturers at the moment, they're really looking at what we're doing and seeing how that can be translated across. And it's interesting because in the car industry, it's interesting in the rail industry, is that the clients are asking us to design trains that will get people out of cars. So it's interesting, I think, for the car industry to see what we're doing. So we're trying to make the benefits of travelling by rail, so more privacy, more flexible seating, you being able to work whilst travelling, all the things that you can't do in a car. And I think they need to think about that.
And why was it important that you came to this event? It's the first time that you've come to this exhibition, you've spoken at this forum. Yeah. Why was it important to come?
Well, obviously it's really interesting to learn about different things, and some great manufacturers here at the show, and also just to understand a little bit more about the industry, but also trying to translate our thinking into the automotive industry, because I think we have a lot to offer the industry.
And in terms of turnaround and some delivery time with some of the projects, I guess with aeroplanes there is a longer lead time perhaps than cars can be, and trains is midway, and that impacts what you do as well, doesn't it? Yeah,
when designing a train you have to think maybe 10, 20 years ahead. You can't design something to look like the latest car, because in a few years' time it's going to look out of date. So we have to think always far, far ahead, and future thinking is something which is interesting. And thinking about new technologies, because technology is going to be something which influences all products and everybody's lives.
And the feedback here, what's it been like for you from what you presented?
That's been great feedback. I think there was a bit of a stunned silence that they didn't see any cars in my presentation. But no, I think they really understood the thinking of designing things that fit for purpose, fun but durable, and flexible seating.